Welcome to Everyday English Stories. Today's story is called The Community Garden. Listen carefully. After the story, we will learn 6 useful words from it. Ready? Let's begin. For 6 years, Nora had lived in a cramped city flat whose only greenery was a plastic fern gathering dust on the bookshelf. She often paused outside flower shops on her way home, breathing in the scent of things she had no room to grow. So when a hand-painted poster appeared at the bus stop announcing a new community garden, it felt like a small door opening. Plots were available on Green Lane, 5 minutes from her building, and beginners were warmly welcome. She signed up the same evening, half excited and half convinced she was fooling herself. The plot she received was modest, barely bigger than a dining table, but the dark soil crumbled promisingly between her fingers. Her confidence, however, evaporated the moment she realized she couldn't tell a weed from a seedling. Salvation arrived in the form of Leo, a retired postman with sunburnt forearms and an encyclopedic knowledge of vegetables. "Everyone's first garden is mostly guesswork," he reassured her, pressing a paper envelope of tomato seeds into her hand. Tomatoes are generous plants, they reward effort and forgive mistakes. Under his guidance, Nora turned the soil, marked out shallow rows, and planted her seeds with surgical care. She watered them faithfully every morning, though for a fortnight the earth stubbornly refused to show any sign of life. Just as she was beginning to lose heart, a line of tiny shoots broke through the surface, fragile but unmistakably alive. She celebrated as if she had won an award, photographing the seedlings from every possible angle. Saturdays soon developed a rhythm of their own. Leo demonstrated how to stake the growing plants and pinch off the side shoots that stole their strength. Nora, in return, kept the tea flowing and the biscuit tin full. Bit by bit, the garden introduced her to people she would never otherwise have met. A medical student tended strawberries 2 plots down, and a night shift baker grew rosemary and thyme for his sourdough. Conversations drifted across the beds along with the smell of mint and warm earth. By mid-August, her tomato plants towered over her, heavy with fruit in every shade from green to deep scarlet. On a bright Sunday morning, she harvested her first full basket, the tomatoes still warm from the sun. She handed them out generously to Leo, to the student, to the elderly couple across the hall who rarely left their flat. "Not bad at all for a first season," Leo declared, biting into one as if it were an apple. That evening, Nora simmered a pot of soup from her own harvest, and the flat smelled of basil and accomplishment. Eating it, she reflected that the garden had quietly rearranged her life. Her weekends had purpose, her shelf of gardening books was growing, and her phone was full of new numbers. What had started as a patch of bare earth had turned into the friendliest corner of her city. Great listening. Now, let's learn 6 useful words from the story. Word 1, cramped. Cramped means uncomfortably small, without enough space. In the story, Nora had lived in a cramped city flat. Word 2, seedling. A seedling is a very young plant that has recently grown from a seed. In the story, she couldn't tell a weed from a seedling. Word 3, to lose heart. To lose heart means to become discouraged and start to give up hope. In the story, just as she was beginning to lose heart, a line of tiny shoots broke through. Word 4, to stake. To stake a plant means to support it by tying it to a wooden stick. In the story, Leo demonstrated how to stake the growing plants. Word 5, to tend. To tend means to look after plants, animals, or people. In the story, a medical student tended strawberries 2 plots down. Word 6. Accomplishment. An accomplishment is something done successfully after effort and the proud feeling it brings. In the story, the flat smelled of basil and accomplishment. That's all for today. Here is a tip. Listen to the story one more time. Repetition helps you remember the new words. New episodes every day. Subscribe and see you tomorrow.